This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we're going to discuss a week in the life of me and Dan. Basically, we open our calendars and show you what we do on a day-to-day basis in our businesses. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to What I Eat in a Day.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Danny.
Or Get Ready With Me. That's what Dan does. And Tom Hall, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I've never done one of those videos in my life. I never will do. So
mate, so Dan gets ready for golf every other day, right? So he sends me those, his personal ones. So he goes, "Get ready with me," and then he sends it just straight to direct message.
That's just to rub it in.
Whoops, that was a bit.
Yeah, that's just to rub it in that you don't play golf, mate.
Every day.
As regularly as I do. So that's the reason I do that. So yeah.
I know. I'm gonna start doing it. Get ready with me, triathlon wise, and it's just me getting into like tight shorts.
I was about to say you in that sort of tight leotard thing you have to wear when you do.
Yeah, I've got one. It's just fun. Signed up for my first one today. My Blenheim. If anybody's come to Blenheim, say hello next year.
No one's coming. No one's going to.
Everyone's coming. Are you joking? All my fans are going to be there.
I'd be surprised if anyone turns up.
Well, I've got a few clients that are coming, so they have to be there because they're competing. So fuck you now.
How many of you forced them to do triathlon as well, just because you are? Like, not everyone wants to do it.
I'm being forced. Let you know, if she listens to this, Sarah, I'm being forced by you. Basically, that's what's happening. I'm weak because I needed something. I needed a challenge, and yeah. I thought it was the easiest, no, probably the hardest thing I could do. So completely switch how I train and become a cardio monster. So we're all good, man. All good. Got my new plans, averaging 9 hours of fucking cardio a week. I don't average 9 hours of anything a week. I'm really honest. That's predominant.
You don't even average 9 hours of sleep, do you?
No, definitely not. Got my Whoop charging. That's bad boy. I'm on the prowl for my running watch. I did an Ask the Audience. Everybody was very helpful by giving me about 17 different options of different fucking ones. So thank you very much on my Instagram. Yeah. But everybody was very happy that my shirt roulette was back, Dan. Obviously. That's biggest engagement I get, to be fair. So
it's the most interesting part of your day.
I know exactly. That's what's going on. I didn't release the last one. Well, I was quite shocked, and you're all fucking racist. I was wearing a green top, and I purposely put an Irish flag on there. Loads of them, fucking Irish. It said Saint Etienne on it. Read the fucking.
Can't believe they fell for that one.
Fucking racists. I was like, I'll put Irish. Green, classic. The last one, if you read it, it said Accra. That requires a predetermined knowledge of geography to know where Ghana. Accra is. Ghana, correct. So it was Ghanaian top of some sort. Yeah. Fucking weird.
Very strange. Just very, very strange.
The shittest top I have, that one, like in terms of quality of make. It feels like it's just been like I bought it from getourtopsareforyou.com, something like that, and it's just literally t-shirt print.
Well, that is where you get your tops from, isn't it? So
brilliant. If you've got a combine top, you lucky people, that's exactly where they're from. Tops for you, discount heavy.
What is the actual thing you do? The actual place you get it from? randomsoccertop.com.
No, it's called Mystery Kits.
Mystery Kits, that's the one. Mystery Kits.
Yeah. You can do a subscription. I'm not endorsed in any way, but I do. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this shirt here, and then that way. In this room, there is literally a whole wall full. So I've actually put a whole wall full of shirts, which I can obviously take on, take off. But yeah, I quite like it. It's good fun. But it's for content. So as soon as I put it on content, that's a taxable deduction. So it's absolutely fine. Yeah. I've used it in marketing.
Smart.
Well, thank you.
Tax deductible every day.
I know. As soon as it goes on YouTube and Instagram, tax deductible. Thank you very much. Online marketing account. Yeah, real good.
I should probably try. I would definitely try doing more of that stuff, but obviously don't need to anymore. But I needed to.
Yeah. You can't deduct tax, Dan, from when you don't pay any. So that's the fact.
True. Yeah. Tell me about it. I do still pay some, actually, to be fair. So that's not strictly true.
Yeah, I mean, you are married and have a child, so I does seem
that. Yeah. So renting out our house back home, so that's also,
of course,
that's the problem.
That's the
Do you still contribute to all the things that you're enjoying and you're getting benefits from? Don't worry.
Enjoying what?
Yeah, the UK, mate, it's a great place to be. The UK is an amazing place to be.
I love paying all that tax. Love it.
I saw a video the other day, actually, from someone who was talking about the UK and the position that the UK's in, all this sort of stuff. And I couldn't believe some of the stats they were coming out with and like the state of the country. But apparently 30% of the UK population pay into the system, and 70% of people take out of the system as a net kind of flow. Yeah. And he was saying, like, the numbers only go in one direction. He said that the UK, the last year of the records, or if it was last 12 months or last year, I can't remember exactly the records were, but it lost something. It was in the top 3 for the amount of millionaires lost to emigration.
Oh, wow.
He was saying, like, the numbers are skewing like towards 25% to 75%, all this sort of stuff. And he's basically saying how all government in the UK, they're obviously just all working for the votes of people. And he's like, the reality is that 70% of people taken out of the system, they're the ones they're going after because there's more of them to get in power and all this sort of stuff. It was like, it's a really treacherous position to kind of be in, which is quite interesting, actually. I know it's a bit off topic, but kind of on topic. But yeah, it was, it's not. And then there was another one I saw, probably because the algorithm put me on my Explore page. And it was one of these ones, like, I can't remember what the radio show is. Is it LBC? Let Britain Chat? Let Britain Talk? I don't know. There's one like that. And there was someone called in, and basically it was like they emigrated to Germany, and they were basically like, until you leave the UK, you don't realise just what dire straits it's in. He was just like, it's unbelievable. Just bring the tone down to everyone in the UK. By the way. It was just, it's just some of these stats, when they add up and you start looking at it, I'm like, that stat about the system like whether you give in or take out, it's scary. It's scary for the country. But anyway, it was warm though, wasn't it, last week? So that's good, apparently. So,
but it wasn't nice. It wasn't a nice warm. It was too warm.
I can't please you lot. Can't fucking please you lot. Come play out here.
I was happy that it. You're playing at like 40 degrees. You're mad. Yeah, it was too warm. So it rained today. I was quite happy.
I know a lot of people that are happy when it rains, and I'm like, fucking, I can't win. Saying that, the best weather in the UK, though, let's get it straight. The best weather in the UK is when it's clear, sunny, but in the morning it's about 4 degrees, and then as the day goes on, it goes up to about 16, 17.
Yeah,
but it's sunny.
Definitely.
You need a jumper on. You can wear shorts, but you have a jumper on. Best weather in the UK, that is. Best weather.
I think nice and a crisp morning is great. Like joined with your first sip of coffee on that morning. So good.
Because for me in the UK, I didn't mind the cold. It was the sun. I love now. I couldn't imagine not having the sun on me. But I don't like the fact it's fucking 40 degrees here. If it was 20 degrees sun on you, it's like, you can't beat that. And in the UK, I think that crisp morning, clear evening, but you've had the sun all day with not really any clouds is spot on. Only because that doesn't set off my hay fever in the UK as well. It's too hot.
You just get sand in your nose, don't you now, mate? So just constant sand.
Mate, I'll take it.
Every fucking orifice Dan has it. He just rinses it out like on a daily basis. Yeah. Any holes you go for sand.
Correct. Yeah. Sand goes everywhere. It's great.
What's been happening, Daniel? Anything much?
Not a lot, mate. To be honest, played a bit of golf, as you can imagine. But that's about it. There's really nothing crazy been going on. Just getting my head down working. Just preparing for when you come out, Tom, in 7 weeks or whatever it is. Something stupid. 8 weeks. It's a long way away. But just preparing my golf game for that. Biggest tournament of the year for me.
Biggest tournament the Dubai Seas every year, mate. Or every 100%. Twice a year. Yeah,
100%.
oh,
You know it.
the biannual. Biannual means 2 times.
Yeah,
a year,
I think it's
doesn't
biannual. Yeah, biannual. Yeah.
it? Yeah, because it's not the same as bi-weekly. When somebody goes bi-weekly, that means that's twice a week. Bi-weekly is twice a week. Fortnightly is every other week. Every 2 weeks.
Is that right?
Yeah, it must be. Well, if we just said bi-weekly, bi-yearly, biannually.
No, it says here bi-weekly is every 2 weeks. Bi-weekly meaning done, produced, or occurring every 2 weeks or twice a week. Which one is it?
Yeah, stupid. It's ambiguous, isn't it? Horrible term. Don't ever leave a conversation not knowing which one that person means. Fortnightly, but fortnight is not like normal in is not an Americanism. So I think they say bi-weekly and never know what happens. No.
Occurring twice a week should be semi-weekly. What?
That doesn't make any sense. Semi-weekly.
That would be half a week, wouldn't it?
Every 3.5 days, I'm there. Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Why is that so good? Why is the English language so shit? Twice a week is semi-weekly. I don't believe that's true, but that's in the Collins English Dictionary.
I've never heard that ever.
Semi-week. I'm going to start using it now.
Semi-weekly.
Twice a week. Semi-weekly.
It's not going to happen, is it? That's not happening. No, definitely not. Well, we've got an exciting episode, obviously, Dan, because
obviously
we decided literally just over. Well, my time has been going for 5.5 minutes. So over 10 minutes ago, we decided what to talk about. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk about a week in the life of, because we both have similar, but not the same jobs in terms of what we do and talking to people and how we go about things. So we could literally, what I've done, Dan, you can do the same if you want to, but probably not. Probably do a check-in week for you. I've got up my calendar because that's how I sort things, magic, and
with that,
and just to see. But I've realised that the coloration I have it on my laptop. I don't really look at my calendar much on my laptop. Is awful for viewing what it is. So I'm gonna have to change that. But on my Google Calendar on my phone is where I normally view it. Is absolutely fine. So this blue that I'm using currently, realize you can't see this, and I'm not going to show it on the YouTube. But yeah, just in case, always pick a. So the font should be white here, not black, because you can't see it very well. That's an annoying thing that people do on Instagram posts where you can't read the font properly. That's why I do like that outline frame around some stuff, because you can't see it. That annoys me. Don't want to work to read your shit. No. Anyway, but one thing I did have to vaguely, I don't think we discussed this, Dan, is I don't know whether it's in Dubai yet, but if it isn't, I'll bring some, was the large Biscoff chocolate bars, like a big Cadbury Dairy Milk, but Biscoff. Yeah. Fucking incredible.
Oh, I've had it before in the UK there, before I moved over. It's been
really?
Yeah.
Why did it say new on it? I've never had it.
I've had it. Definitely had it.
Definitely different then.
It must be different because I've definitely had a Biscoff chocolate bar before. Made by a Biscoff.
Whole big one.
Chocolate bar,
big. Yeah. Like big as my head.
Yeah. Definitely had it. And it's incredible. Indeed.
There's a chocolate one. Obviously, there's both chocolate. White chocolate and milk chocolate one.
Yeah, white chocolate and milk chocolate, yeah.
Where have I been living? Fucking hell. So good.
Unless they've redone it and it's brand new again. I don't know.
I don't know. But it's like chocolate, and then there's it's like a inside of biscuit. It's not like scattered around in the chocolate. It's like
no. Maybe that's the new bit, but it was definitely maybe it was the smooth middle. I don't remember having a biscuit through it. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's why it's new. I just remember it being a bar just with literally Biscoff with chocolate in it, but not the biscuit, more just the spread. Maybe that's the highest difference.
So good. Well, I've bought 2 bars and left it in closed fridge, so
for sure.
I'll be chowing down on that in a bit. Lovely. Yeah, but I was astounded. Anyway, right. I guess should we go straight into this? Are we going to talk about in-person events? Because IFS IFS. That's the one, isn't it?
IFS,
International Fitness Summit was on.
Summit or whatever, wasn't it?
Dan was a keynote, weren't you?
I'll never be asked to be a keynote or anything like that. Don't worry about it. Wouldn't worry about it. No, I just think it's one of those things that I wonder if people actually take stuff from it and they actually apply it. Like I always hear people say, "Oh, it was a great event. It was really, really good, and it was inspiring." And I just wonder how many people are applying that stuff that they learn. And I think there's a lot of that. It's almost like that self-development porn, isn't it? It's like you feel like you're going and feel like you're doing something, but are you actually doing anything with it? Are you actually doing anything on the flip side of it? And I think a lot of people get inspired at events. Like, look, we did an event. A lot of the people there were our clients, or they're in the members group and stuff like this, and you pick things up from it. Obviously, you were there. You pick things up, but it's more a case of like, I think people are very quick to be inspired at things like that, but I don't think they're very good at remembering that message weeks after. If you were to ask them 3 weeks later, what did you pick up from that thing? Well, I can't remember. But yeah, at the time, you're ranting and raving about it like it was amazing. And I think that there's a lot of events like that. And I just feel like IFS is one of those things where it can be great for you to get some inspiration and motivation. But as you tell all your clients, motivation ain't going to always be there and you can't rely on it and all this sort of stuff. And I just think it's one of those things that's really important to remember, that when you leave those events, that you come away and go, right, well, what am I actually doing though? Rather than just going, well, I'm being inspired. Great, been inspired. Brilliant. I get inspired by loads of things, but it doesn't mean I take action on them, going forward. And I feel like that the type of people who go to those events get addicted to that feeling. And I can think of a few people off the top of my head who I've worked with one-on-one, who I feel like have this need for that inspiration. I can think of one in particular who's finished working with me now. He worked for about 3 months or so. And I could tell that he was almost getting bored with what I was saying, because it was like, be consistent, keep up with the message. He wasn't being inspired on a bi-weekly basis, fortnightly basis. On his check-ins, he wasn't getting inspired by this amazing speech and all this sort of stuff. And he was the kind of person who would then post on his Instagram that he'd been at this amazing event and he was like lit up with inspiration. And then 4 weeks later, still nothing happened. And it's one of those things where I think that you have to be careful that you're not someone who's just getting addicted to that feeling of being inspired and going to these events. And like I said, it's almost like the self-development porn rush of that. And it's like, no, it's not actually doing anything for you. You actually need to do shit. And I just noticed that a lot of people who are very successful in online coaching, online business, don't go to those events. That's what I've noticed. And that's not having to go at anyone who has been. It might be the catalyst you need to be inspired and go. But what I know is that anyone who is anyone and doing good things doesn't bother going. They get asked to speak at them potentially, but they wouldn't go to it if they weren't asked to speak. And I sometimes think that's a bit of a telltale sign, is where are those people hanging out? Well, they're doing the work they need to be doing behind a computer screen in their office, not around other people getting distracted by these fucking grand ideas and needing to be inspired, for example, right? I just think it was just an observation that I think a lot of people sometimes feel like they need that inspiration, and I just don't think they do at all. I think it's more about, again, boring.
Could you imagine if in our check-ins we had to try and inspire on a weekly or fortnightly basis, how tired we would be, like trying to be like, trying to psych somebody up. Because at the end of the day, we can probably say something to trigger that, but that's certainly not our like gun-ho personality. And if it is, you've only got 7 clients, because that's the only amount of like energy you could probably fucking muster up. You're gonna have like a low check-in. You try and muster up that fucking energy for like 5 to 10 minutes, yeah, sure. But you're like, all right, guaranteed you can't keep that same emotive language all the way through. And it's like that.
The thing is, it's not even useful though. It's not useful. At some point, you need
to be all
told,
like cliches and fucking. You're like, oh great, okay, cool.
At some point, you need to be told to stop fucking around and do the work in a non-positive way. Like, and it's. Yeah, I just think it's just interesting. And like I said, I'm sure these events are great, but it does. I do sometimes feel like they attract the same type of person.
Yeah. I mean, like, so we've definitely been to Body Power. I've definitely been to I can't remember the ones are now. But yeah, I wasn't there. I didn't want to go to Brighton. Been to Brighton this year. Tick that. So I can't imagine I would take, because in theory, like I should be there market, right? And I've just got no. I didn't even realize it was on. It was only because like I have a couple of clients who are speaking there. And I was like, all right, they're cool, crack on. I was like, I didn't know that was on. Cool, have fun. I guess. Yeah. But I certainly wouldn't go and like. I can't think. I took some notes at your event, but that was because it was like applicable to what I was about to do, probably for the back end of this year. And then I can't think of like the last time. Obviously, like in-person events. I'm thinking like events, not courses, because I've certainly done fucking a million fucking courses that I've applied certain things, but not like where there's like a panel and stuff like that, and it's just about discussion and talks and yes, I find it a very rare scenario to have applied based things. Normally, that's been behind some sort of go see them later, go catch up with that person's content. You might feel like you resonate with that person, cool, and then go find what they do and how they sell their shit afterwards. That would be my advice if you were to go to. But I think it takes like, maybe it's for networking. Maybe you go to the after parties. That's about it. Try and strike off a conversation that's there. But then I don't know, is there that kind of, because it's very much sit, talk, listen. Do you interact with the other people? I didn't that much. Don't know. It's not like when on a course you're forced to do like paired and team and group work where you have to talk to the person next to you because you're going to assess their squat or whatever, or make them blow into a balloon. That's my what the course I did.
Lollipop sticks, wasn't it?
The lollipop stick course.
Right on.
Fucking yeah, bullshit. PRI, that's the one. Fucking so many. I can't. When I went through my whole rehab phase, so many fucking acronyms in rehab. Fuck me.
They love an acronym.
They love an acronym. They love a fucking course. Rehab, fucking love a course. Jesus Christ, there's a new course every week for rehab. Like, oh, this is the best way to make your knee bend better. Fuck off. Like, just stretch it and crack on. You should be holding this isometric hold for 2 seconds longer. Fuck off, mate. That's boring. Yes. I've done FMS or whatever, the FMS 1, FMS 2. What's the physiotherapy one? I did that one. SFMA, PRI, FRC. It's got to be something else I'm also qualified in. Fuck that. They're all the same thing.
You got all the numbers. You got all the numbers on the end.
All the accreditations. Yeah. Whoa. Do I use
Hall, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yeah.
Oh, that pisses me off when I've stumbled across a few of those on Instagram bios and stuff like that. They've left there on my side. No one cares. No one cares. Literally both me and you have got master's degrees. No one fucking gives a shit. Like,
not one. I think this the other day, no. I saw the whole like post GCSE A-level thing comes out, like, and people say, "Oh, don't worry about them," and all that sort of stuff. That's the one thing I wish, if I could have a really boring glimpse into the future at any one point into my life, it would have been at that exam period and at the end of my uni for someone to turn around and show me how many times I've been asked to show my university certificate to anyone. Not a single fucking person has asked to ever see my master's degree certificate ever. And like, it is the most overrated. Did you see Gary Neville come out with a thing about the GCSEs and A-levels? It was a little clip I saw on Instagram, and it was literally him saying like the system is broke. He's like, no one needs to memorize stuff for 2 years to sit an exam for 2 hours. Like that doesn't happen in the real world. Like no one gives a shit. He's like, I'd rather see that someone had improved over a 2-year period and improved their coursework, taken on feedback, adapted, improved. Like someone going from an F in their coursework through to an A in 2 years is more impressive to me than someone getting an A on their exam because they've got a good memory. He was like, It's ridiculous. And it's so true, isn't it? It's that whole thing of like, I think the whole system is broke because you look at our uni stuff. Yeah, it opens doors and, you say you got a degree, but no one actually cares. No one actually has ever asked to see that of mine ever.
The only certificate I've had to show in the last 6 months, 12 months to anybody, level 3 so the gyms allowed me to come and train in there. And I did say to him, I was like, "Oh, I've got my master's degree. Do you want that?" Because I knew exactly where that certificate was. Like, I've got those like ones saved on here. I couldn't remember where fucking level 3 bullshit was. And they were like, no, we have to see the level 3. I was like, what? I think that's better than that. No, we have to see the level 3. All right, cool. I'll go get that one instead. Luckily, Dan, because there was a period that were you in the same boat as me? We never did it.
Never did it.
Yeah. So because I had to, but I just sat the exam because obviously there was a weird thing because I was teaching it. Apparently, I had to have it. Shock. So I had to sit there for like 20, 30 minutes and do the exam. Slightly annoying, wasn't it? Unlearn something. I was like, fuck's sake. So it's very funny that like my master's degree says like 2012, but my level 3 personal trainer is like 2021. Like,
of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be? So it's fine. All right, we're gonna dive into some stuff, I guess. We're gonna do a week in the life of. We're already 20 minutes in. We haven't talked about anything. But yeah, I bought one of these clocks as well, Dan. I thought it was a cool idea. But
why does everyone keep having them? Like, why do I keep seeing them here? What's so special about these clocks?
I don't know. Why that one? I don't know why this one, but it's just in case the AI and Alexa, because essentially she's going to speak to me. Essentially, Alexa is a glorified cooking timer. That's all she does. Cooking timer and plays Spotify. That's about it. Tells me the weather every morning. I can look outside. Thanks, Alexa. It also says it on the front of my phone. But yeah, one of the most pointless things in the world, Alexa. Who uses her to her full capability? Anyway, yeah, we obviously bought this just in case the AI from Alexa decides to take over the world, so we can have a manual one. But no, I saw this again. This is productivity wanking, isn't it? Like, oh, if you put this in front of you, I'm going to do deep work. You know how many times I've used it, Dan? This is the first time. Good.
Yeah.
So time the podcast. To time the fucking podcast. Because normally I start it on my phone. Like a timer on my phone to make sure that we don't run over. We always do. But yeah, that's basically what I bought it for. If I'm really honest, I've used it to time the podcast. But apparently, we're meant to use a cooking timer for deep productivity work. Guess what happens? I just, like, for example, on a Saturday, deep work, didn't need a timer. I just worked for fucking 4 hours because I was into it. That's what happens. Yeah. I just didn't stop until I was like,
it's another
yesterday,
way.
Yesterday I sent 200 messages to people on fucking Instagram. Guess what? Yeah. Didn't put a timer on. I didn't. I just did it until it was complete.
It's this whole thing of like this. It's like I said to you. It's this whole. It's like the self-development shit all over again. It's just that whole like, oh, if I get a timer, I'll be better. No, you won't. You won't.
No, you won't.
You might be for a week.
No.
You might be for a week. If you can't do that and you don't care about your work enough, you won't be able to do it. It's that straightforward. It's like Parkinson's law as well. It's that Parkinson's law thing. Like, if you sit there with a timer for 30 minutes, but you know you've got the whole day, it won't make a fucking difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you need to. That's why I. We'll talk about this, I suppose, in a minute in the weekly breakdown.
Yeah.
It's why I bunch work together. Like, if I have calls, I bunch them together. So like, I can't overrun on my call. Or if I have a call and I have an hour gap and I have to do 4 check-ins, I have an hour to do those 4 check-ins and I have to do them in that hour, right? Rather than go, well, I've got 4 check-ins to do the rest of the day. I'll just take my time with it, like I always do. Because that's inevitably what happens with people. They leave things at the last minute. And you have to be really, really strict on yourself. It's not something that you have inbuilt really, really easily. But I just feel like those things only work if you actually have something to stop for. Well, you don't need a timer then, do you? Because you stop. I just think it works for a week. It works for a week, or it works for. And I see people post it on Instagram. Do you know that this is the thing that winds me up? I'm going to go off on it. Winds me up on Instagram.
No,
is when people take a picture. So people take a picture of them going about to do loads of hard work. Tell you what, don't take a picture. Just do the hard work. Like, it's that whole, like, you have to tell people what you're doing. And like, my whole thing with it is like, if you actually were working that hard and you were that into it, you wouldn't post Instagram stories. But you've thought,
we should never show you this clock, mate. Fuck
yeah, fuck it. No, but it winds me up. But it does wind me up because people who are genuinely busy, do you know what they do? They don't post on Instagram stories about it. They just go back on. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, we're 24 minutes now, so I'll shut up. But yeah, you get my point. Oh, fuck me, it annoys me. It's like, no, fucking do it. Anyway, my week. Do you know what my week looks like, Tom? Here we go. My week. I'll break.
Right, should we give you 6 minutes or a minute a day?
6 minutes, right? So my week, my check-in weeks. This is what my check-in weeks kind of look like. So basically, Monday I play golf. Monday morning, 6:30 tea time. I'm usually home by 10:30. Showered by 11. I then have an hour to do some admin. I then have calls from 12 until 5. So this Monday, for example, I had a consultation call at 2:00, but I have a gap at 2:00 for a consultation call if I need one. Usually a good time for you to do one. And then sometimes I have a call as well at 5 till 6 if I have a sales call with someone. But yeah, pretty much 12 till 6. 11 till 6 there, a bit of admin, 11 till 6 that day. I take them Monday evening, do a bit of content potentially, all that sort of stuff. But this is a check-in week, so I don't usually do that. I just chill. Tuesday, I then have check-ins from 8 a.m. through till 6 p.m. It was a long day. And I then have an hour break before I do the podcast with Tom at 7, which is then leads me to about 9. And then I get an early night because Wednesday morning I have golf again at 6:30 in the morning, where I play until about 9:30. Food or whatever with the lads, whatever, blah, blah, back home by 11. And then I literally have check-ins from 11 all the way through till 7 that day. And then I relax in the evening. Then Thursday, I have check-ins from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. again. Sometimes I train in the morning if I have enough time, but I haven't done that for about 4 months because I've been too busy with work. Might do a little bit of content in the evening if I need to, but and then Fridays, I then have soon I'll be having golf all day. I'll be doing 2 rounds a day because I'm cool. But at the moment, I just have tea time at about 3 p.m. So I do my work from 9 until 12 in the morning, where I catch up on any late check-ins, any work that needs to be done. I then have golf in the afternoon. Saturdays then off. And then Sundays, I do admin, content creation from 9 in the morning till 12. If Mike's in Dubai, we'll work together, have breakfast, do some admin and shit, maybe till 1ish. Do a bit of admin and stuff like that. And then if I have my non-check-in weeks, which is what I do then every other week, so then a fortnight, everything remains the same except Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Instead of doing check-ins, I have calls with certain clients who are doing really, really well, and they have calls every month. Those calls are from 3 until 6. And then in all the other times around that, I'm just doing content creation, YouTube videos with Mike, email writing, diary this year writing, and all my content. So I do my content in 1 week, which then serves for the week after. And we also have Gordon do loads of our content for us. So we outsource elements of that, which makes life easier. So that's it, pretty much. So my only real days to myself is Saturday and then half of Friday. Obviously, I play golf. And soon I'll be doing all day Friday golf. So any late check-ins will just basically be ignored in the future. That's something we're putting in place as a boundary because that happens more than you think. And it shouldn't with coaches, fuck me. And then Sunday, we do a little bit of admin and content because Sunday's a great day because we don't get bothered by our clients because it's a day off for them, but we can do loads of work, which is why I prefer to do golf on like a Friday and then do all that sort of shit. So yeah, that's it. 4 minutes, nice and easy. But there's not really an hour that's not accounted for within my week. Essentially, like we just account for all our work hours within that. And like I said, we bunch calls together, bunch things together to make life easier.
Yeah. How interesting.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, another thing as well, in those from 8 until 6, I do about 25 check-ins. And I get coaches say to me, I can't do 10 in a day. It's like, you can't, you're just not very efficient. Well,
yeah, you can.
You literally can. But again, it's up to people how they want to split their days up, right? Some people like to do something every day. If they do Monday through Friday, they might do 10 check-ins each day. Some people might do 2 days of 25 each day and just have 2 days of check-ins. It's up to you and how it works. We just found what works for us with that. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of my week. I'm usually up pretty much 7 a.m. every day. I don't really do Lions anymore. Obviously, days I have golf, I'm up really early. But then even on weekends, on Saturdays, I'm up at 7:30, 8. It's just not a thing anymore, Lions. So I go to bed early.
Lovely. So that is the life of a online business owner, essentially.
Yeah, really, really exciting. Yeah.
You did that, managed to do that in like 4 to 6 minutes.
No, yeah, I told you I would.
No, in other words, 5 minutes. That's probably that. Yeah, I'm not too sure I'm going to be able to do this because mine is a little bit more, I guess, because of I'm adhering to other people a little bit more. It has to be slightly more flexible, but it still holds true in a lot of the fucking things that Dan just said. So I guess that we can class ourselves as relatively successful fit pros within the field. I'd imagine. Can we say that? We're still in the fucking game 10 years in, so I assume so.
Somewhat successful, yeah.
Somewhat successful. So my week, a normal kind of fucking week. All right. So I wake up at 6 a.m. every day, pretty much. So just to bear in mind that I still coach people in person and obviously have stuff online. Okay. So I have split time. So just to prove that people can possibly do it. I just want to total up. So this week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I probably average about 20 one-to-one sessions per week. Okay. So, and I do them from 6:45 and my cutoff point is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do not train anybody past that cutoff point. So you can imagine, just like Dan said, he likes to chunk everybody together. How many clients? So 5 a day on average, between basically 7 and 1. So 7 to 12 is 5 hours. So you could probably do the maths. There's probably a scattering of 15 minutes or half an hour breaks within that kind of spectrum. And I do have a run over, like just in case somebody needs to flex into like an afternoon, but I tend to do that on only a Friday afternoon and say that they can book in there just in case they don't want to do anything else. But yeah, basically 5 sessions each day. So actually today I did 5. Perfect. Bang on. I did literally that day, 6:45 until 1. No, I did 6:45. Yeah, 6:45 until 1. Bang on. At the moment, obviously my triathlon training is taking precedent. So I have to write in where I'm
It's taking what? President or
yeah.
You said president.
What was I meant to say? Is that not that? What is that?
Precedent.
President. Is that that's like one of those slips, right?
We're talking about Joe Biden before. That's why I was like, I'm sure you said president. I was like, president.
Anyway, it's taking control of my life. Yeah, so I'm having to write them in. So I can't really like that's literally fitting around work more than anything else. But I'm trying to do it so it's like blocking out an hour to 2 hours each day, depending on, and then obviously the carryover on the Saturday and Sunday because I've got that more free. So okay, so one-to-one coaching is from 6:45 until 1, and then I will probably either commute home, grab something, but bear in mind I've already done 5 hours of work one at a time. Then so on a Monday is email writing, content stuff, and then more than likely YouTube edit stuff. Tendency to be Tuesday I tend to literally do a lot of Instagram kind of replies and crap like that, so I tend to do that throughout the week. So actually fuck off Alexa. So between 3 and 4 p.m. every fucking day so after I've had my hour kind of chilling and doing whatever, is Instagram or like YouTube or whatever, any kind of responses like emails or blah, blah, blah. That's an hour every single day from 3 till 4. If it doesn't take an hour, it doesn't take an hour. That's fine. If it does, it's fine also. But I'd encourage people, and it's the biggest thing when I start working with people like mentorship capacity in terms of outreach time, because that's the main point. It's just like, all right, can we actually respond to some of the fuckers? You don't have to be on their beck and call. Just put it in your day that you probably respond to them. Whether that be clients, they also get a response on between 3 and 4 most of the time. I know a lot of businesses do that kind of thing, don't they? They have like open window time where you can go onto fucking chats and Slack and ask questions. We certainly had it at the PTC. It was like, ask questions during this time. So I used that 3 till 4. So on the Tuesday, obviously got podcasting, which is 4:30 until I die with Dan. And then I might do a little bit of YouTube editing after this, but probably not. I need to go for a run. Wednesdays tends to be the YouTube recording. So any content recording is Wednesday. Thursday and Friday my check-in days. So those are spread over so at the moment, actually, Thursday, I tend to stop coaching so I go for a swim in the morning at the moment from 11 till 1. And then I come back after that. So you can see how wedged my other days tend to be. And then check-ins are from 1 p.m. till kind of 5, 6 p.m. And then Friday, I will do any kind of check-ins I don't manage to get done on the Thursday, because I can rattle through them. Because I'd say my check-in, because the mentorship guys I get to have a call with, so they'll block into wherever the calls go into throughout my week where there's space. And then Fridays, I can just stumble over any check-ins that don't get done and try and wrap things up. But I do, instead of Dan's Sunday, I do Saturday morning, which is all programming. So just on the basis of most of my guys are maybe, I'm going to put it out there, I probably have to be a little bit more flexible than Dan does with his programming. So there might be changes, like week to week changes that I make for people. So programming, all of that shit gets done from 9 or 8 to 9, depending on when I fucking get up, between 8 and 9 until midday on a Saturday. So I do that now. So it feels like you get ahead of the week, basically, and I can make any changes that people are fucked up on throughout that week. And yeah, late check-ins, that is something that I do. I feel like that was common sense. If you haven't got your check-in and all your check-ins need to be done by Wednesday night, I ain't looking at it. You can send it to me, but I'm probably not going to look at it. I'll give you like a text response or something like that. So, and I'll be like, I'll catch up with this next week. Yeah. So it's, I don't know whether it's brutal, but I'm like, I always get my check-in back to you.
I'm just on that, I'm at a real, me and Mike get back and forth on this all the time. There's part of me which thinks, now I work with coaches, if you don't get your check-in on time, like, you ain't getting one. Like, because you're a coach, you know how annoying it is. You know what it says about your desire. You know what it says about all this sort of stuff. But also, we do fortnightly check-ins. So it's kind of like, well, actually, you're not going to hear from us then for 2 weeks. So it's kind of like, it would have been 4 weeks till you've had some sort of feedback. So I'm always caught in two minds with it. And I think I'm definitely erring more towards if you don't get checking in, you ain't getting anything done. Because, for example, that Friday for me, that Friday morning it's technically my free time, really. Like I treat my Fridays and Saturdays as my weekends. Sundays I actually do more work and chill out a little bit more there. But if I earmark that time and go, well, I want to enjoy my Friday, and I get 1 week 8 people checking late, well, not only have I allotted that time free on those days during the week, you're now eking into my free time. Well, is that fair? Knowing that you could have got your check-in in. You can get your check-in in 3 days early for all I care. That's fine by me. And I always explain to the people, it's like the bin men when they come around. Get your bin out early, it gets taken. Go out late, it ain't getting taken until 2 weeks' time. It's just the way it is. You know that. And I feel that I get really frustrated with it, because I think if I was working with more people from a fat loss training point of view, the check-ins are a little bit, dare I say, a little bit easier. I think they're a little bit less involved, a little bit more of a case of sometimes like sticking with the program. And I don't mind it too much, because everyday people have got busy lives. I get that, because it's something that they enjoy, something they're trying to work on. But I kind of feel like with a coach, it's your business. Like, this is your livelihood. And you can't even record a 15-minute video and get it to me within the day that you should be getting it done, sent to me. To me, it's like, I can't get past that fact of like, the clients that do very, very well for us and the ones that don't miss check-ins. They just don't. It's that straightforward. Like, people know that when it comes to training and fat loss. I've had many a fat loss client, occasionally giving the odd check-in late and they get great results. The best coaches get the best results to get their check-in in every single week on time. And I don't even have to prompt them. Some coaches go, I just forgot. That's fine. The coaches doing 15, 20K bumps, they don't forget. They don't forget.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of one of those where it's like, well, okay, I know now where your priorities are at, because if I had a check-in to do for someone, I set a reminder on my phone. My calendar is littered with reminders, events. This podcast reminder has been in my phone for fucking however many years. 7 p.m. podcast every fucking week. Every fucking week. We don't miss it.
No.
I don't miss it. I just find it. I just can't get my head around it. So part of me wants to just do it as a bit of a. Maybe they'll then realize that they don't get check-in, and then they'll be more on time with them. Maybe because they know that I'm going to reply to it on Friday. They go, oh, it doesn't matter. I reply to it Friday. It's not a problem. Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to take that away. So that's something we're umming and ahhing about, because I genuinely think that it's disrespectful to a point, in my opinion, to kind of do that. I think part of me thinks we should have a lot of time in our calendar for it, but I feel like I already do in my week. I allot the time for your check-in. Like I said, get it in 3 days early. It's fine with me. It's painful. It's one of the biggest bugbears of online coaching, biggest issues with that. So who knows?
Pretty much, yeah. As I have like that, because obviously I'm Thursday afternoon from 1 till finish essentially, and then Friday I have that kind of layover time. So I don't make any promises. I always go like, I might be able to look at this on Friday. That will literally be it. I'm like, but you didn't get it in on. I start at 1 o'clock on Thursday. Some people give it to me on. There's really apologetic people who give it to me on like a Thursday morning, but they know I normally do my check-ins in the afternoon, so it's okay. And then might carry over onto the Friday. So because I'm reasonably quick with my check-ins as well, because I do that kind of. I look through everybody's stuff as well on a Saturday. So just quickly for a lot of people's, because I'm doing programming constantly and changing things. It's okay. I don't have that just like, there's your 15 minutes or 20 minutes that I'm going to look at your work. I'm probably going to look at your work twice, more than likely. So I have that kind of layover onto the Thursday, Friday, Saturdays when I do mainly online client work. So but it's interesting. It's interesting. All those days, I'd say a lot of people won't want to work those hours. They're probably like, fuck, all right, well, that's a relative. But I'd imagine if we both looked at each of our calendars, it'll be similar in the respect that they're all chunked together, and then big blocks where we're doing certain things, like big blocks for like business work and content work and whatever, and then lots of little meetings. Is what mine looks like, essentially.
And we always bunch our meetings together. Me and Mike always have done. It just makes sense, right, from that point of view. But it's even those weeks where, like I said, on those Tuesdays, Wednesdays, where I don't have check-ins. So let's say I do calls from 3 till 6, 3 till half 6 sometimes. They're the days, they're the weeks I go to the gym more, for example. So I go to gym Tuesday morning, Thursday morning. So I might get back at about 10:30ish. But then I'm like, well, 10 usually. I'm a bit there a bit earlier. 10, 10:30, finish till 3. I'm doing admin. Like I'm doing emails. I'm doing all the content needs to be written up, all those things, sales pages, automations, whatever it needs to be done. People don't understand how much work you do. There's no way they understand that. They couldn't comprehend it. And the people that always say they don't have time, I'm like, bullshit, like absolute bullshit. It's people waste so much time. Because I still have a day and a half off a week. And I play golf. You could argue that's off as well, which I agree it is off. But I make up for it by working till 6, 7 at night, and I do 8 till 6 days and all that sort of stuff, right? But my actual off time is really, because away from golf as well, is a day and a half. I could work harder. I could work that day and a half. I know I could work harder. And I regularly say that. So when I see people who've got like a quarter of the amount of clients I've got, I'm like, you're not really working that hard then, are you? Like, but this isn't calling them out from that point of view, but it's also more a point of, we've been doing this now for like 8-9 years. And it's more a case of like, we're doing more hours now at 8-9 years, which you'd think you'd be able to do less hours, which we could do less hours if we wanted to, and all that stuff, but we're driven. And it's those people who come in after a year and be like, oh, I just want to be able to have my afternoons off. And I'm like, fuck me. Like, remember at Third Space, we were doing like every hour God sends, got up to the biggest hours we could get up to. And then we started saying to our clients, right, I'm not doing afternoons anymore, only doing mornings. I remember my calendar was 6 a.m., 6:30 was the earliest we could start, 6:30 a.m. start until 2 p.m. Pretty much solid with clients. Hour gap here and there, half an hour gap maybe. Train, go home. That was literally our day. And I'd rather do the 8 hours between that than carry over into the evening. A lot of trainers will just do anything and do everything. It's the arrogance of coaches to assume that after 6 months they're going to have their calendar. I don't want to do evenings. You've just qualified. What the fuck do you mean? No, spend every
Midget.
hour God sends in there. We were there Saturday mornings. I remember being there Saturday mornings. You were there all day Sundays. You were there. I remember
Sunday,
it.
I built my business. Yeah.
Yeah, Sundays you built your business on a Sunday, literally, and like, your Sunday was probably half your week's sessions. I remember it.
I did. Yeah,
like
I think I did like 6 to 8 sessions every week on a fucking Sunday, just so I could like back off on one of the other days during the week. But I was just like, fuck it. And people were complaining that they weren't getting busy. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I can come on a Sunday. I'm the only coach here.
We were. So I remember people complaining that they weren't busy, and me and you started at the same time, the same month, and we were like wanted to break the first month record because we were like we wanted to be that guy. Guess what we did for the first month? What did we do? Did we only come in for the hours we had clients in, or did we spend pretty much every waking hour there? We spent pretty much every waking hour there. Right? Did we or did we not get the best first months anyone's had at the time had within business that they knew of? Yes.
But at the time, yeah. Now it's like they get like fucking 3 sessions galore now.
Yeah. So we did what? I think we did between 60 and 70 sessions in our first month.
Yeah.
Each. I knew I never wanted to do more than 100. I knew I was capped at about 80, 90, whatever it was. And wouldn't be able to do that anymore, would I? I knew
get 5 for that, then.
Get 5 for that now. But it's just the old arrogance as well of people wanting to, like, I hear about coaches wanting to make their check-ins quicker, and they've got 20. I'm like, what do you want to make your check-ins quicker for? There's nothing. Like, yeah, it just baffles me when I know other people have got 80, 90 check-ins. How many have I got? 80, 86. I got 8, yeah. So it's and about, I say what, 12 of those. It's about 70 because some of those are on calls. 70 check-ins. So it's about 25, 25, 20. My Wednesday days 20, other 2 days, Tuesday, Thursday 25. I'm like, and they're longer check-ins than fat loss and nutrition because it's more in depth.
Yeah.
So I just find it odd. I just find it very, very odd when it comes to that. And people have different priorities and all this sort of stuff, and I get that, but I do want to see some people's weekly calendars and go, right, where you're at and what you're doing. Because people want the balance before they're prepared to put the work in.
But I think hopefully that kind of lays out, like, if anybody finds that useful, obviously, I just thought it's always interesting to I think people enjoy looking at other people's shit, basically. Nosy in the fact of like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, cool. And they might look at one of our calendars and like, fuck, that's a mess. You're like, yeah, it's a nice mess, but it tends to do stuff. So it just shows you how we divide our time. Obviously, you're devoted to completely online, but there's still the same thing applies. Like, I still have an online business, and I don't commit as much time to it as I do in person, but I earn probably 5 times the amount I do in person than I do online. So it's kind of like, all right, the time is spent like around there. So, and obviously I'm building certain things online, but it's also that takes some like admin costs. So it's just, it's where the money is most as well. But obviously it's more scalable, Tom, if you do that. Just like, okay, well, yeah, people need to stop paying me for doing one-to-one and fuck off then. So, I'll spend even more time there. But yeah, I tend to work to people. I start work at fucking 6:45. And yeah, it is 6 o'clock now. So yeah, we're on a 12-hour day. All good. All fun.
Yeah, I mean, I did my first check-in. In fact, let me actually double check. Let me literally get the exact timestamp from the email that I sent. Bear in mind, I would have started it. The first update I sent today was at 8:17 a.m. So 8 a.m. And it is currently now in Dubai 2 minutes past 9 in the evening.
Yeah.
I'm doing a podcast. So it's like, I can't do content. Well, I've just done a podcast for an hour and a half. So after
AI to flip it up and off you go.
Easy. Easy as that. But yeah, so today I did what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 check-ins. So yeah, 2 were late. So it's 24. Yeah, that's bang on. 1 didn't need one because he just died. So yeah, it's that's what's required, like to build, to be at that level and to be at that point. Don't get me wrong, like when I first started, I couldn't have done that many. because of
No.
efficiency, wouldn't be as good and all that sort of stuff.
No chance. And like I tell you, like in terms of struggles, in terms of the week, the stuff that I find hard to kind of nail down and I feel like disruptive, check-ins are fine. They're kind of like automatic, boom, boom. It's all very laid out, set in stone. One-to-one sessions are absolutely fine. Programming, I don't mind because based off the test results or whatever, what people have been doing and their goals, I know exactly what phase they're going into, what they should be. It's all the content shit, which why I invested in mentorship again. And all of that outreach stuff is the thing I struggle with. And it's definitely the stuff that is not in my comfort zone. My comfort zone is dealing with clients, not onboarding and doing that kind of shit and outreach and stuff like that. That's why I like struggle or procrastinate 100%. But that's why I always say I have to put it in my fucking diary to fucking do it. Just like running, I've got to go for a run after this. So even though my Whoop's telling me not to, and doing all that.
Don't go, can't go.
I know it's already said my strain score is like 12 or whatever. So I was only recovered to like 36 yesterday, 36%. Hey, awful. That's what Whoop does not like, me waking up early and not sleeping very much. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully people have enjoyed that. We're going to give people two follows, right? We're at 50 minutes, Dan. We're well over 50 minutes. I started to like
well over,
late,
yeah.
But,
oh my god, yeah. Like I can't stop watching this guy. It's like my guilty pleasure. He's called Coach Carnivore Cam, and his reels sometimes pop up on my Explore page because I think because I've watched a few of them. Like it gets sent to me regularly on the suggested posts. He's this guy who's doing the carnivore diet. And he basically just eats mince, eggs, and cheese and chicken. And like he tries to do like these things where he's like, how to do a takeaway on a carnivore diet. And he basically like rings up Five Guys and orders 4 patties and eats them. I'm like, that's cost you like 20 quid. Like just, and he did it on Miller and Carter. Did a Miller and Carter as well. Takeout order. It's just a steak. Obvious. But he does this whole thing like he did like a carnivore diet, chicken and bacon salad. Just chicken and bacon in a bowl with mayonnaise. Like how to do Mexican food on a carnivore diet. And he just literally gets like load of mince, load of cheese in a bowl with these chicken crisps, like nachos. It's like, no, it's not nachos at all. I can't stop watching it. It's that bad. I can't stop watching it. He's called Coach Carnivore Cam. And he gets so much hate in the comments because he doesn't even look like he lifts. And you know, he's doing the whole like bigger, stronger, like carnivore, like, and it's just hilarious. I can't
I love the comments on the Mexican one.
Yeah.
You deserve to be arrested.
yeah. It's just like
worst thing
how to do fish and
Mexico.
Chips. How to do fish and chips on a carnivore diet. It's just fish, like with bacon. Carnivore diet quiche. Like you've got to watch it. It's the way he stands there looking so gormless, holding his food as well. It's just brilliant. Like you've got to go. Don't follow him because obviously like you get fed up pretty quick. But it's just the way that he comes up with every single recipe. He's like how to do this on a carnivore diet, and it's just burgers or mince with cheese on. Like that's all he can eat. It's just brilliant. So yeah, I just find it quite funny. Basically,
mate, he's got kettlebell and sled hit workouts powered by carnivore diet.
He knows it. Yeah, he knows it. Yeah, brilliant.
Increase your weight on the sled by 10 kilo every round. Classic programming. Carnivore bread.
Carnivore bread. Unbelievable.
How's what?
Yeah.
There must be some brains in there somewhere.
It just makes me laugh. Like his whole thing is he made fajita wraps once, and he just basically was like an omelet. It was like egg.
Oh yeah, like the Mexican thing was an omelet.
It's like, come on, mate.
Like I make Mexican carnivore enchiladas with an omelet. So fuck off, just eat a wrap, mate. Fuck me.
It's my guilty pleasure, and I don't know why I really like watching it, but I just do.
Mate,
I can't stop.
He is the UK's #1 carnivore coach. So I remember that ranking and that poll coming out. I was in that vote. I was in the panel. So here you got my vote. So
that was the one. That was it. How to do a barbecue on a carnivore diet. Well, that's not hard, is it?
just somebody trying to put a lettuce on there. He's like, no.
Oh, mate.
Love him. He's good. Right. So that's probably not a follow, but certainly go look at his stuff.
Yeah.
And my one is Uncle Dijon, which I think is a follow because I just find his comedy quite funny. He's very obviously just dry, taking the piss out of fucking everything, but it's manly comedy, not manly comedy. It's just funny. I enjoy the ones. I don't know the ones that have got like over like 1 million views or whatever. There's one like it's how to the classic ones he got like famous for. I think was like how to survive 5 minutes for one of these for $100 gift card, and it'll be like monkey, snake, bear, and cheetah, and how to kill them. But his it's like classic. What's the video game? Would it be like Mortal Kombat, like really shit, or Street Fighter 2 kind of thing?
Yeah,
like graphics of like it's really well done. He's just really funny. So I'm enjoying Uncle underscore Dijon. He's a video creator, survival pro. So yeah, it's funny, trust me. But it's just stupid bloke comedy essentially. Lovely, Dan. All right. I'm glad I know exactly what you're doing so I can plan your demise. So I know exactly what's happening in Dan's week. So I know when to message him when he's most stressed now, and then when to take the piss. And yes.
Sorry, I ignore your texts anyway.
I know you do. No, it's fine. It's the only time we talk to each other this week. We're getting to the end. Look at that, 55 minutes. We're definitely over 55 minutes. We're about an hour. But I wouldn't have known without this helpful clock. So couldn't have looked at the clock in the top right-hand corner of my laptop, but yeah,
sorry. Not at all.
All right. Any other business?
Not for me.
No. Not for me either. Nothing. How boring. As we know, there's nothing happening in the fitness world at the moment apart from international fitness summits that we didn't go to. Yeah. Other than that, all good. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week.
See you later.